How's it going, everyone? Pup-Tart here. Welcome back to the Aeroteam Gaming Channel. Today we'll be flying in the newly released Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I am here in the Aer Lingus Airbus A321LR, parked at Paris Charles de Gaulle. We'll be flying Shamrock 52 X-Ray back to the Aer Lingus hometown of Dublin. The time is currently about 9 in the morning, right around in line with the real-world flight. What's not in real-world alignment is the weather. I have it set to just scattered clouds at the moment, because Paris is getting absolutely hammered by a storm right now, and that was unfortunately just destroying my performance. So this is a little less realistic, but it should be hopefully a little better. And on the upside too, we can also at least see a little bit here instead of just having a visibility of 50 feet. And on that performance note as well, 2024 is so far very unforgiving. I've done a couple of test flights that have gone pretty okay, as I've been working on optimizing all the graphics settings and all that, but I am still really struggling to maintain a solid 20 frames per second, so it might dip below that at times, and it should hopefully not be too miserable, but I cannot make any promises. But yes, so while I've done a few test flights in 2024 so far, mainly in the A330, which is just absolutely gorgeous, that thing's so cool. This is my first time in the 321LR, so I've set up the controls configs and all that, but I have not flown it yet, so this will be the very first time. So for this flight here, unfortunately Flight Radar 24's coverage at de Gaulle is still just non-existent, so I have absolutely no idea which gate the real-world flight used. FlightAware says it used Terminal 1, so I just pulled a random gate from there. So, on the charts overlay here, I believe we are at Zulu 1 right here, on the southwest corner of T1 here. As for scenery, we've got custom airports on both ends, so this is the handcrafted Charles de Gaulle that's in the default base simulator, and on the other side I'll have MK Studios Dublin ready to go. But I think that's about all there is to cover, so I'll just pop into the flight deck here. Now, unfortunately, I've said unfortunately a lot here so far, Flight Sim 2024 is just full of surprises, so there's two small problems here. One, I have no sounds for about half of the sounds, so half my switches are gone, the other half are still fine, but hopefully the engine sounds won't be too impacted, that's awesome. And secondly, all of my custom wing views are messed up because I am halfway above the aircraft right here and on the outside, and if I try to set another custom one right here, bam, that's set, I go back to it, and it's right back to where it was before, because custom views are broken. I love Microsoft so much. So that will just have to be kind of ignored. Anyways, let's actually get going now. So, first up here on the overhead, let's pop battery 1 and 2 on. No switch sounds there, but avionics sounds, it seems like, from the rest of it. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those flights. Ah well. Let's see how far we can get. So, external power on. Switch sounds there, very good. So yeah, it's just about half of them that are messed up. I've seen that a lot about everyone else is having issues with the sounds. People were saying it had to... Ooh, I'd better check my audio balance here real quick, actually. Alright, we're good. And as I distracted myself with that, I missed all of the cool startup animations on the displays here. Oops. Anyways, as I was saying, people have been saying that the sounds issue so far has been with the issues from cloud streaming for all the aircraft, but I've also encountered it on the Phoenix, which are, of course, local installs, so I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. It's probably just a Microsoft Flight Sim bug that's killing all the sounds randomly, which is so awesome. Anyways, back on track here. We have battery on, external power established. Let's get the strobes to auto, nav lights on. IRS 1, 2, and 3 aligning. Those ones that have sound switches, or switch sound still. Let's get the ground control to on, and crew supply oxygen on. No smoking signs, and arm the emergency exit lights. Cancel that, master caution, I don't know what that was showing up. There was nothing on the ECAM there. Clear that out. Let's get the aircraft loading here. Won't be too much to fuel here, of course. This is just about one of the shortest Aer Lingus 321LR flights there is. They actually just switched this one over from the 320 like 2 nights ago, and it's now back onto the, well, now back up to the 321LR. So, our zero fuel weight here is going to be 74,080 kilograms with a block fuel of 7.3 tons from SimBrief. We'll get that loading on realistic. Let's see what that gives us. Yeah, 40-second refueling and 20 minutes on the passengers. Alright, let's see. Why's that master caution showing up? I'm pretty sure that should auto-extinguish itself if anything on the ECAM goes away. That might just be a default aircraftism. Oh well. Oops. There's also what I'm saying about all my custom views messed up. That's supposed to be my custom view for the FMS, but it's just all over the place there, so I'll just have to poke my head down here and get going. The joys of dealing with a simulator on launch. Hopefully it'll iron out in a couple of months. We'll see. Alright, we're going from Paris to Dublin. And we have an alternate of Manchester. Get that in there. Call sign is going to be Shamrock 52 X-Ray. That was really disconcerting having no clit sounds for all this. Oh well. Alright, cost index of 12, we'll be cruising at flight level 360. And that's it for the init there. So for our flight plan here, we'll be departing out runway 09 right. On the Atrix 6 Golf. Would that be the 6 Golf Kilo? I guess so. I'll give that a try. Then from Atrix, that'll be the Upper Tango 225 airway. Oh, come on. Upper Tango 225. Nope, that's the wrong one. Upper. There we go. Upper Tango 225. Oh dear. Disconcerting not having click feedback. Alright, there we go. To VSUN. IRS is aligned. Then from there it'll be Upper Lima 623. Nope, 613. Alright, so the the manipulators here are really lagging for some reason. That's odd. That's why my clicking is a little off here. So I have to be very deliberate about what I'm pressing. Yeah, Upper Lima 613 to Sovat, then Lima 613 to Sandy. Then from there, that'll be the Upper November 601. Ah, come on. 601. There we go. To Lesta. Then Upper Papa 6. To Rodel. And we still have another couple more airways in, so I'll have to insert that and then go back. From Rodel, it'll be the Upper Lima 28. Yeah, something weird's going on with the manipulators here, because if I click and then start moving my mouse, it will... Yeah, like right there. I clicked on Kilo, then as I move my mouse up, it registered the clit spot over A there, so... Yeah, and then that just switched over to secondary, or to ATC comm from when I clicked way down here on the keyboard, so there's like a solid at least quarter-second delay between an actual click and the click being registered. That is really disconcerting. Alright. So I'm just gonna have to be very deliberate about what I press on the FMS here. Anyways, from Rodel, it'll be Upper Lima 28 to Leldo. Then Mike 145 to Bagzo, which is right around Manchester, if I remember correctly. Then from there, that'll be straight into our arrival. We've got ILS 10 left on the Bagzo 3 Romeo, which is that one there. No transition there. And let me have a look at my approach chart here. Where does that... Let's see. So Bagzo drops us at... Aha, that's right. This is going to be one of those weird arrivals. It does a big loop around the airport, so we'll probably just be giving ourselves a shortcut with that. So there's no direct transition there to use on the ILS, so we'll just take... let's see, do we have Suboff in here or no? No, we don't. So yeah, none of these other transitions are applicable, so we'll just go Novia and then give ourselves a direct vector shortcut when the time comes. So, I think that's about all there is there on the flight plan, so let's have a step through that. Go back to plan, and we are zoomed in there. Everything's looking nice and continuous. And there's that weird curve around the airport there that doesn't line up with anything, so yeah, so it does that jagged step in. Again, we'll worry about that when the time comes, because that'll probably just be a vector shortcut in real life. But the bottom line is everything's nice and continuous, so we'll get that back to, well, the flight plan reset there, back to arc, and then pull up constraints there. Alright, next up here, while we wait for the loading to finish, we can run the safety tests. So, we'll run the engine 1 fire. Very good. APU fire. And engine 2 fire. That was a voice crack there. Very cool. CVR test. There's the beep. And cargo smoke. Forward aft... huh. No, we didn't get any annunciators for forward aft discharge. That's weird. I'm used to seeing those. Shut up. I get it. We're done. Are you ever gonna silence? Are you just gonna blow my ears out? Come on. Hello? Okay, so the switch did release. It's not stuck. I'm just gonna manually cancel that. My ears are hurting. Alright, and lastly the... Ow! Shut up! There we go. Goodness. Then the takeoff config. Slots, flaps, and trim. There we go. Very good. Alright, I don't know what was up with that. That's weird. I'm used to seeing, again, the forward-aft discharge there, and then it doing, like, 5 to 10 second bursts, and then silencing itself, so I don't know why it was still going. I don't know if it's just, like, different variations in what systems were simulated with this, or what, but... Anyways, then we can do the annunciator lights test. Very good. Everything's working, because it's a simulator. Nothing's ever broken, but I like looking at the pretty lights, so there we go. Alright, with that, let's get the APU on, and the fuel pumps on. Man, no sounds for all these. I really lost everything. That is dreadfully unfortunate. Alright, while I wait for that door to open, let's grab the weather here. Well, no, because I set it to the preset weather, didn't I? So I'll just have to leave the altimeters on 1013. I'll pretend that I'm setting these. The real altimeter is 1026 right now, but again, I'm stuck on the preset because there is literally 50-foot visibility with the live weather right now. So, yeah, we'll pop down here. Again, I'd usually love to fly out of something like that, but for a first flight on a YouTube video, I do feel I should make it more photogenic and better performance than that. So, down here the transponder, I'll set 2024 for good luck, and how do I turn this thing on? I have never used the Dreams panel before. Is it under menu? No, this is menu. Do I have to press and hold? Standby, TARA? If it's grayed out, does that mean that it's off? Oh dear, I should have researched this beforehand. You know what? We'll roll with it. I don't see a transponder standby on the PFD there, so, well, it doesn't show up anyways. I don't know. I'm gonna pretend that everything is working fine, and I will read up on it afterwards, like a professional pilot. And lastly, let's brief the departure here. So, I'll pull up the... Well, here, I'll pull up the charts on the video overlay. Yeah, so I switched over from Bandicam to OBS from the last one. On the A380 video last month, I tried using Bandicam, and it recorded its own FPS overlay in the top right corner, which was very annoying. I've never had it do that to me before on Minecraft or whatever. So, I'm now using OBS for this, and that means that I now have my lovely Navigraph overlay back from when I used to do the live streams. So, again, we're up here at Terminal 1. We're going to be taking runway 09 right here. And we'll be departing out on the Atrex 6 Golf. I don't know why it was labeled 6 Golf Kilo in the FMS. That's odd, because the 6 Kilo should be the other runway, I think. Like for 09 left? I don't know what's going on. Anyways, regardless, bottom line here, we'll be departing out runway heading here. That's 084. Then that'll be to Paris 091. Straight ahead to 092, then a left turn around to Atrex after overflying 092. Top altitude is going to be flight level 100, our transition altitude 5,000, and I think that's about all there is to it. So it's going to be an RNAV departure. Yep, alright, I'll get that overlay hidden there. So we'll get the flight directors on here, leave the heading and managed for nav, and top altitude 10,000. There we go. And oops, I missed turning on starting the APU after flap open there. So we have flap open now, so we'll give that a start. I should have gotten that before briefing the departure, so that we would have that ready afterwards. Ah, well. How long do we have left on the loading here? Yeah, man, my performance is just taking a huge hit here. That is unpleasant stuttering. Get that hidden there. That's the other cool thing about the, for some reason, the tablet here kind of overlays with the clit spot for the sun visor, so trying to interact with the EFB has on many occasions pulled this up for me when I was using the 320neo, and it looks like the same problem is here in the 321LR as well. So, we have 5 minutes left on the payload, and fueling's complete, so I'll pop the seatbelt signs on. 60% on the APU, almost done there. After that we can probably do a quick walk around in the new first-person walk-around mode, which is so cool and so beautiful, and that should give us just about enough time for that loading to finish so we can run the performance and pull out of here. Come on. There's the generator, the veil, and we are good. Let's pop on APU bleed and external power off. Alright, let's do that walk around then. So I'll pop out here. I already beforehand went ahead and just removed the pitot tubes and engine covers and all that, because those really wouldn't be applied in real life anyways at this stage, so I got rid of those for that camera shot at the intro sequence. But anyways, so we'll just have a little view around the aircraft here. I like doing walkarounds beforehand just to get a scale of the aircraft, to really feel what you're pulling behind you. It was very cool. What is going on with that spinner there? Is that... Am I mistaken, or is that two different spinner textures overlaid onto each other? That's odd. I'll have to look at that in real life later. Anyways, apart from that, these new engines are beautiful. Oh yeah. God, I love the leaps. Yeah, my frame rate is really taking a hit here. I can feel the stuttering when I'm panning. My apologies for that. It's the best I can do. I have optimized it as much as I can without losing too much detail, and yeah, 2024 is just very unforgiving. Anyways, got the new double-slotted flaps here on the 321LR. I am really hoping that the flap animations for that are better than on the 320neo. They were, oh yeah, look at that sun flare. Yeah, they were touting the new remodeled flaps in the 321 or the 320neo on one of the developer streams last month. Like, yeah, we finally remodeled it. It's all fine now. And then I did a flight last week in the 320, and at least the flaps just don't go straight down now on the 320neo, but it's just a tiny little deflection for flaps 1, and the deflection for flaps 3, well, it still goes straight back. There's no downwards deflection at flaps 3, and it is less than the deflection should be at flaps 1. And then going to flaps 4, it's a huge jump in deflection when flaps 3 and 4 are, like, very similar together. Anyways, yeah. The flaps 4 position is great now on the 320neo, and anything intermediate is not quite so accurate, which is sad to see. So hopefully this will be a little bit better. It's looked gorgeous so far in pictures, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. Anyways, I've gotten myself completely distracted with that, but we've had a nice good look at the very pretty aircraft. I think we've still got like 4 or 5 minutes left on loading, so yeah. Very nice chocolates. Alright, let's pop back in here. I have GSX installed as well. I am not brave enough to use it for jetways or anything at the moment, so I just left that connection out. I have had very limited success with whether it wants to behave or not, so I will just see what it does with a pushback, but that'll be about it. And I noticed this on the 330 as well. If I'm in the walk-around mode for too long, it sends all of the screens back into the self-test mode. So it's like it's unloading their avionics or something. That's very odd. But anyways, how are we on payload? 40 seconds left, alright. And I was realizing as well as I said pushback, but yeah, it would probably still be a pushback. For some reason I was remembering something here as I was saying that about de Gaulle T1 being built for like pushbackless operations. There's a word for it that I just immediately forgot as I was saying that, but anyways, I'll probably still do a pushback. Again, there's no flight radar coverage at de Gaulle here, so I have no idea what kind of traffic patterns the real aircraft follow there. I should have looked up like a video or something beforehand of like plane spotting because those exist, but anyways, we should be all loaded up now. Indeed we are. So again, we have the seatbelt signs on from when the fielding finished, and we can run the performance now. So there's my custom view that's broken, so I'll have to pop back into the regular view there and just set it up myself. Alright, again, our zero fuel weight is going to be 74.1. Oops. 74.1. Zero fuel weight CG is going to be 28.3%. And the block fuel is 7.3 tons. There we go. Now for the takeoff performance. Let's pull that up here. We'll sync the flight plan and calculate with flaps 1. That should be more than sufficient on the... What do we have here? Like a 14,000 foot runway. Yep. We are very good in a tiny 321neo. Alright, that'll give us V1 once it's 0. Once it sits, once it's 9. Alright. So, V1, once it's 0. Rotating at 166 knots. V2 of 169. Transition altitude is 5,000. Want to make sure I didn't immediately forget those, put the wrong numbers in. Yeah, we're good. Alright. We have flaps 1, trim up 0.8 degrees. Or units, I guess. Come on. Up 0.8. And the flex temp, I already looked at it and immediately forgot it. 43 degrees Celsius. Alright. Whoa. 43. There we go. Reset the view there. Looking down and then back up from that kind of messed up my neutral view axis. Another lovely Microsoft Flight Sim-ism. Alright, we should be all good there. That's the performance ran. Oh yeah, one more thing I could check. The Blackbox 711 website here to grab the NADP information at Charles de Gaulle. So, it's an NADP 1 departure, which has thrust reduction at 1900 and 1900. Yeah, that click delay on keys is really messing with me so far, so it's going to take some getting used to. Hopefully I can improve it, but I am doubtful. Anyways, reduction at 1900 and acceleration at 3400. And engine out acceleration is going to be 1900 feet. There we go. Alright, that should be everything. So, let us call for pushback. Come on. Here we go. Oh, very good. GSX started up this time. It has been hit or miss recently. About 3/4 of the last couple months of flights I've done, GSX has just been crashed on startup, and I've had to restart Kawato like 3 or 4 times before it finally gets into shape, and sometimes it just doesn't, and I have to do a power back, which is really annoying. I love GSX. Anyways, well, that's connecting here. We'll pop the beacon lights on. Seatbelt signs are on once more. That's like the 3rd time I've checked. I have no idea which handling operator de Gaulle uses. I'll just go with whatever it suggests for default. APU bleed is on. External power is off. We'll get the... Whoa! Low frame rate is messing with my panning. Alright, on the ground tab here. Yep, there's that sunshade pulling up again.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Hello! we'll get that GPU out, and... Oh wait, or removed? Maybe? Huh. It was available before, I don't know why it was disconnected there. Anyways. Oh yeah, and the chocks, if I remember correctly, cannot be toggled from the tablet right now for some reason, so I'm gonna have to pop out here, and... uh-oh. Okay, there we go. We'll move the chocks there. Before it's too late, and then it just messes up the flight completely. And everything else should be good there. Oh, I forgot to get the doors open during loading. Ah, well. Anyways, I think all that's left for me to do here is pull up the flight plan on the right box, and we should be ready for pushback. So, on the overlay again here real quick, I'll just pull this up so we're at Zulu 1. Again, I'm not sure if in real life they just pull straight out here. It didn't look like we had that clearance when I had a quick look from the outside view, so I'm just not going to risk it. I'm going to push back here. It looks like they're facing north on the internal apron here, and then going around this way clockwise, and then we'll head out that way and up November perhaps, and worry about the rest later. Alright, quick edit pushback. Here we go. Alright. So we'll do something kind of like this, maybe? Again, I have no idea what the proper procedures are in real life, so I'm just kind of pulling something out and hoping it works. Right, parking brakes released. And here comes the moment of truth. Let's see if that sound bug took my engine sounds with it. We'll go to engine start here, wait for the numbers, there we are, and starting engine 2. I'll watch this one from the wing view, just to... there's my broken wing view. Just to see what happens. I'm hearing a little rumble, so hopefully we got something. Oops. Ah! That was my fault, I hit the wrong button. Oh, very good. So we have some engine sounds at least. That car was having a fun time over there. Alright, that sounds like we've got a good start on number 1, so... Oh, almost at least. Parking brake set. There's a veil, and starting number 1. I'll watch this one from the cockpit and be a good pilot. There's N2. Leaps idle for a while before introducing fuel, so we'll be watching this one for a fair bit here. There's fuel flow, EGT is rising, N1. It was almost up to 30% N2 when fuel introduction happened. Wild. Oil pressure. Almost there. And a veil. There we go, good start on number 1. Or, well, engine stabilized, good start on number 1, I should say. Let's go APU bleed off, APU off, reset the rudder trim, and start switch to norm, and watch the the flap extension from the broken wing view. I really hope this gets fixed soon. I've said that a lot, but oh well. Anyways, here we go. Flaps 1. Oh yeah. Alright, flight control check. Go back, forward, left, right, left rudder, and right rudder. Flight control's free and correct. We have trim up 0.8 units to set. Almost. There we go. Alright. And we'll just watch that flight control test from the bat here. Get a good look at that wing. Oh yeah. Alright, so let's have a look at that taxi again here. So, pull up the overlay once more. Again, it looks like they have a clockwise pattern on the inboard, or the inboard taxiway here, so we'll come out here and then on Alpha 3, then take Alpha to left on November. Is it between the dot and the dash? What does that say? Departure west versus east. We'll be in departure east, which is the dashed lines. Okay, so we'll be taking Foxtrot then, all the way up, and then a left on Delta. Then it'll be Delta. Well, Delta ends short there. I don't know. I'm gonna cheat a little. I'm gonna take Bravo. Yeah, this is a weird taxiway system. Alright, so we'll take left Foxtrot, left Bravo, hold short CO9 right at Delta 1. And get that hidden away. Alright, let's roll. So I didn't release the parking brake. Now let's roll. I'm a professional pilot. I also have custom traffic supplied by AIG traffic here as well, so this is not the default AI traffic that is new in 2020. I tried, or new in 2024 that is. I tried giving it a shot a couple of times, and it just gave so many clusters of default A320neo liveries that it was just not enjoyable. So I linked up AIG and found that it was pretty much just working out of the box, so that's what I'm using here. That is an extremely low resolution tree, my goodness. There we go. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be using this taxiway in real life, because that's my wing going through all those trees. Either that or those trees aren't supposed to be there and it's just auto-generated. Who can say? Again, probably should have looked that up beforehand. What the hell? Thank you, Microsoft. Alright, that's interesting, for sure. Is that collision physics with the tree, or what's going on there? Huh? Oh god. Wouldn't be a Pop-Tart flight without something going wrong. Yeah, we are very well stuck here, so I don't know if... I didn't think there was collision physics with trees. It doesn't seem like it would be a pavement terrain issue, because it just swung us to the right here. Oh lord. Alright. How am I gonna fix this? Let's see. I'm gonna go into slew mode. And pop myself over here. And see what happens there. If I can't keep going around this inner taxiway, I'm just gonna cheat myself over to the north side of the outboard taxiway. Oh well. Gorgeous sunrise though. God damn it! Okay, so is that catching on the trees? Let's find out here. I don't know what's going on. No, I'm passing through the trees just fine. I don't know what that's about. Set off my speed brakes though. Get that reset. Oh dear. Regardless, the pavement is still messed up here though. The elevation data for it, at least, it's blending too smoothly with the data down there, so it's tipping all over the place. Oh dear. Anyways, this is a very smooth flight. Nothing is going wrong. Everything is going according to plan. God, that's a cool sunrise, though. That makes up for it. Alright, we'll swing this left turn here onto Alpha, and now I can do my taxi preparation. So we'll go auto brakes max, pull the speed brakes to armed, and take off config test, take off config normal, pop the predictive wind shear on as well. Again, we're rolling all the way down to Foxtrot here from Alpha. There's an Air France A330-200. I just flew the A330-200 for the first time yesterday. Oh, it's so nice to finally have a good 200 in the simulator. I'm definitely going to be flying that thing more. Alright, that is... Let's see, this one here is... I can't read the signs. Nothing. Okay, cool. There we are. That one's Foxtrot. Yeah, this is the weird taxiway because it's the two parallel taxiways with a bunch of remote parking stands in the middle. And here's that left on Foxtrot. I never turned on my taxi lights. Professional pilot, get that done there. I distracted myself with figuring out that inner taxiway system. Well, no, that was before that. Anyways. So we'll take Foxtrot up here to the... past the remote stands all the way to the first left on Bravo. Terminal 1's such a cool design, though. I wish I knew... Whoa! I'm off the taxiway. Yeah, I wish I knew what was going on with the taxiway system so I could understand it better. I'll have to do some research on that later. But yeah, hopefully I can fly out of there more. And here's Bravo. I'll add a little bit more power in here to take this about a 20 knot taxi or so all the way down to the end. So yeah, this will just be going a fair shot longer in a straight line. I'll have to make sure to not miss that Bravo Delta 1 right turn, otherwise I'll find myself in the cargo terminal, but oh well, there's around 20 knots. It is very squirrely on the rudder sensitivity here for taxi controlling. I'll probably have to kick up my extremity deadband here to reduce the authority a little bit more. I'm giving like tiny taps and it's changing my taxi a bunch. Most of that's probably a skill issue and I'll have to get used to it, but... Whoa. Oh dear. I'm not sure why it's still locked in VS0. I'm not sure I recall that behavior from the Phoenix. Maybe it changed in the Neo, but... Anyways. Regardless, when we set Toga, it should, well, set Flex at least, it should kick in all the modes just fine. I'm just not used to seeing that on Taxi Out. There's Bravo Alpha 1, which is not labeled on my taxi charts. What's this one? Delta Alpha 1, which is also not on my taxi charts. And there's just a missing taxi line in the center here. Interesting. Bump in the terrain. Here's going over one of the highway bridges, though. Very cool. the massive cargo hub on the west side. Yeah, Mike Delta 1, Mike Delta 2, none of these are labeled on my exploded, or on the larger taxi chart here. It's just such a mess of taxiways that nothing can get in. I'm gonna pull up the, what's this? Numbering isn't labeled. Ah well. The parking stands for the freight terminal. No, that's not it. Here we are. That gives me the better taxiway labeling for where to take the turn here. Alright, Bravo Delta 6, I see where I am. So I have just a couple more remote stands to pass here, and then it'll be the Bravo Delta 1 turnoff. Another missing taxi line. I don't think that's quite how Paris works. Oh, the joys of default scenery. Very hit or miss. A lot better than Autogen though, but still. Yeah, I don't know if Paris was one of the ones that got an improvement with 2024. I know, like, New York and Innsbruck and all those got a huge detail improvement, but I haven't done any comparisons on the others yet. Here's Bravo Delta 2. There was quite a big bump in the terrain data. And here comes Bravo Delta 1. So there's taxiway lighting, but again, no taxi lines to help us out here, so we'll just kind of follow the ghost lights. Start braking into the turn here. I'll pull up my departure chart on the second monitor. Ready to roll. Check. Whoa. Clear left and clear right. That stuttering is making panning really difficult because it just snaps all over the place. Alright, there's the full short bars. Let's say we're clear for takeoff. 09 right. Get the strobes on. Oh! My switch sounds are working again. Very interesting. Alright, strobes on, turn off lights, landing lights on, nose lights to take off, wing light on. We have cabin ready, and start the clock. Transponder is already set on, which is probably not realistic operating for Europe, but oh well. Alright, here we go. Let's go 50%. Stable. Manflex 43, SRS runway, auto thrust blue. Airspeed is alive, takeoff power set. Really squirrely on the light rudder inputs here. .100 knots. Alright, that feels a lot better there for the rudder. Might have just been a sensitivity issue at lower speeds. There's V1. Rotate. Whoa. There we go. Positive rate. Gear up. I am not used to the flare law on rotation in the Neo. I had just been thinking about that earlier. I was gonna have to pay more attention to the flare law on departure there, and I did a stick inputs as though it were still in direct law from the CO, so that was an issue on my part there. Alright, there was gear up, and no lights. Coming up on 1500 thrust reduction. There we go. Thrust climb. Ooh. Thrust climb, there we go. And we'll still be holding takeoff speed here until 3400. Oh yeah. My wing views are still messed up. Here comes 3400, and thrust climb, climb. Lower that nose here. I'll keep hand flying until we're done with this overflying turn here, I guess. There comes 200 knots and the automatic flap retraction momentarily. There we go. And at the S-speed, we'll go slats up. Normally I would like to watch those from the wing view, but it's a bit of a weird angle right now and it would take too much time to set up. Oh, that is some nice turbulence through the clouds there. That is really cool, actually. Like, in every flight in 2020, it seemed like the clouds were so static. Like, there was no change in atmospheric. I don't know if there actually was, and I just didn't notice. But, I mean, like, in real life, you fly through a cloud like this, and the turbulence from that you can really feel. So, that's the first time I've noticed that in 2024, at least. I don't know if that's a new simulation, or if I'm just noticing it for the first time and it's always been there. But anyways, there's 5,000 feet. Transition altitude will set standard, even though we were already in 1013 from the custom weather preset. And we'll roll out of the turn there. I overshot that a little bit because I am a skilled professional pilot, but there we go. Only 0.3 miles right. I also oversped 250 a little bit there. Alright, once I get this turn evened out and back on track, I'll pop on the autopilot. There we go. Autopilot 1. Yeah, it's still saying TCAS standby. I didn't notice that before, so I'm not quite sure what I have to do on the Drames panel to get that on. Aha! It's on the ATC panel. Of course it would be. I missed that. It's ATC mode auto. Alt on. TARA. And TCAS norm. Perfect. Alright, that should be us set there. Indeed it is. Alright, coming up on the top altitude there, so I'll scroll it up to, let's say 190 for now. Let's have a look at that cruise altitude. We have 360 set. 353 is optimum. That's right up on the recommended max though, but on the right side of the optimum. So I'll just want to keep an eye on that and make sure that everything is within bounds when we're getting closer to that. I'll zoom out a little bit here so we can see what's going on. There's 10,000 feet, accelerating up to 302 knots. I'll get the... Oh, I should have done this on the after takeoff checks first, so turn off lights off, nose lights off, gear up, no lights, auto brakes off, retract, well not retract, but disarm the speed brakes there. Pop there on my hardware. Weather radar not required, anti-ice not required. Again, those should have been checked earlier, but I was distracted. Now 10,000 feet, landing lights off, wing lights off, seatbelt signs, oops, seatbelt signs off, there we go. And I can pop off the constraints. I really hope the audio balance here is not too messed up. I have my sim audio on minus 15 decibels. It looks like it's just about in line with my voice on the audio mixer here, so this might be a very unintelligible departure, but oh dear. Again, wouldn't be a Pop-Tart video without something going wrong. We'll give that the playback tested a little bit here once we've settled ourselves in on the climb. those are some nice clouds, oh my goodness. Just a little bit of a sliver of green on the horizon from the last of the sunrise. Hop into drone mode here and get a nice picture. Oh yeah, I should get a nice picture for the thumbnail as well, regardless. Whoa, my drone controls are lagging out. Awesome, alright. It is not quite so photogenic there with the glare, but... maybe somewhere around there. I don't know. I'll figure out later on. Anyways, hop back in here. I think that's us pretty much settled on the cruise though, so I'll scroll it up to flight level 360. Well, on the Climb 2 cruise, that is. Nothing else to worry about. We're already set in standard because of that low transition altitude for Europe. So, I think I'll kill the camera here and see you again once we're reaching the top of the descent. Alright, we are coming up on our top of descent here in about 20 miles. We are right now overflying Liverpool down there, with the wind farms offshore visible below. Anyways, I have also switched back to live weather now, so we're no longer on the scattered clouds offline preset, now that we're out of that terrible storm in Paris. So this should hopefully be a lot nicer on this end now. So, to prepare for the descent here, I'm a little bit late on this because we're only 15 miles to go, but let's grab the weather here. We'll go to the approach page. We have an altimeter of 1037 in Dublin. That's pretty high. Temperature 5 degrees, and the winds are 070 degrees at 8 knots. Alright, there we go. That was 8, right? Yeah, okay, good. I didn't slip on that one. I'll pull constraints back up here, and let's see, about 10 miles to go. We'll be first descending down here. Let's see, I'll pull up this overlay right here. So we're on the Bags 03 Romeo, I do believe, if I remember correctly. So our first restriction here is going to be flight level 240 or below, and then from there it'll just be straight on until ASDR at flight level 080, max 20 knots there. So we'll just take it all the way down to 8,000, and I'll push it at about 5 miles to go, I think, which will be right around, oh, almost, right around there. There's descent, and I probably pushed it a little bit earlier. I probably should have gone around 2.5 or so, but, well. It'll catch up eventually. So I'll leave that at 80 miles or so, maybe. There's Bags way out there. So, I don't think there's anything else to cover here. So I guess while we're on our way down, I can continue briefing the arrival a little bit more. So, yeah, so as with a lot of the stars at Dublin here, it levels you off at 8,000 and then takes you on this big long arc around the airport. In real life, they don't follow these. This is just the RNAV buffer for busy arrival times. But, so what they would do then is then break off for vectors. But like in real life, they actually didn't take this one in real life, because I just used a SimBrief auto-generated route, but they approached from the south and then just came straight around and in like that. So probably around ASDR here, we'll break off vectors around this way, and then bring ourselves around in the line there. So we won't level at 8,000, but we'll keep on going for 10 left, because, yeah, again, it drops you at IFBAP right here, and then you take it right around, the right turn squiggle into the final approach path there. So, yeah, so we'll vector ourselves around this way, and then base turn right around there and line up without making an RNAV arrival from that part. Anyways, with that figured out, our minimums here for a Cat 1 ILS, we are, let's see, probably decidedly Cat C. Oh, actually we got 139, so we're right on the border there, but that's still within below 140 knots. I'm pretty sure that's the restriction. I'm going off of memory here, but I think Cat D is 140 knots or above approach speed, and since we're 139, it should be Cat C, which is 505 feet bare minimums. So I'll pop that in there. And then, let's see, our platform altitude here at Suboff is going to be 4,000 feet. That is, oh, it doesn't have a DME on there. Huh. Anyways, should be around, well, yeah, Ibiza is 8.5, and that's 5 miles out, so yeah, that should be around at least 13 miles out or so. So we'll just level at 4,000 and just intercept the glide slope there. Missed approach is going to be straight ahead to Dublin 906, then left turn to 907, and again left turn to 908, at or below 3,000. So we'll set an initial missed approach altitude of 3,000 feet, then after 908 it'll be climbing to 4,000 to Bataf. Then around from there. Alright. Bottom line, missed approach altitude 3,000 feet, and we'll follow the FMS from there. We don't really need to follow any of the rest of this, because it's an Airbus, it's all automated, so we don't need to pull the ILS information, but just, yeah, final approach course 097. That should do us from there. Again, we're landing 10 left, the north runway right here. I think that's the one that was recently opened. Well, recently as in a couple of years ago, but at any rate, the X-Plane version doesn't have it, so that's pretty nice. So we'll vacate right when able. Probably won't be able to make November 4, but maybe, well, yeah, so most likely scenario will be November 3 there, maybe a November 4 if we swing it enough, but I'll probably float this landing a little bit because I am not good at the flight model for this one yet. So we'll take right on November then, and then down, is that November 4? The link system, the horizontal one there, the numbering system on this one is weird. I can have a look at this one here. Foxtrot Outer, this one's called. Interesting. And I already checked here beforehand on Flight Radar while I was in the cruise. They're parking right around here in real life for what this flight took at least. So we'll take Foxtrot Outer all the way around here, then joining Foxtrot 3, Foxtrot 2 down. We'll take Link 2 in, and then actually no, they took a different taxiway. Yeah, okay. So they took Link 3 right here. So we'll take Link 3 down to whatever this one's called, and then in parking 404 right. So that's what we'll plan to follow there. And if that's occupied, I'll just take a different one of these. But that should be everything covered there. Airport elevation is 243 feet, but we don't really need that because it's an Airbus, it's all automated. Alright, so I'll just make sure to set that auto brakes low there before I forget. And box is all set. That should be it for now. Alright, we're coming up on 10,000 here. Unfortunately, I am still rocking about 16 to 17 frames per second. It's decidedly below the minimum of 20 that I need for any semblance of smoothness. So this will be a little bit unpleasant coming in here, but hopefully it won't be too bad. We shall find out. I'm really not sure what's causing the lockup either. It's a CPU-bound issue. My CPU is running a frame time of like 60 milliseconds right now. I'm not sure how to fix that any further. I have both my shadow maps and my terrain level of detail way down. My terrain level of detail is at like 15 right now, which is just about the lowest I could get it with not much happening. AI traffic only has 4 aircraft in the sector, so that's not causing too much of a bottleneck. I don't know, it just is what it is. But here's 10,000, we're back down to 250 knots, so I'll pop the landing lights and wing lights, seatbelt signs. It seems like I have once again lost my switch sounds for those. That's rather odd, but so be it. Zoom in here to about 20 miles, and again, after Asder, I'll head into, well, I'll just give myself vectors from there. I'll head into heading mode and swing myself around as needed. Here's pulling back to 220 knots for the intercepted Asder. Below VFE next, I'll pop the slats out. There we go. Let's go flaps 1. Trying to try to see this from the janky broken wing view. It's a gorgeous sunrise glow on the water though, my goodness. Yeah, unfortunately with the combination of the low terrain level of detail and rather slow internet for terrain streaming, it's really pretty blurry out there, so not quite the best countryside, but again, I have to make do. Here's 8,000, I'll keep pulling it down from there. Let's pop into invert speed mode. I'll keep it rolling down at about 1,200 feet per minute. And let's go managed heading 270. Not managed heading, that was just vectors. I'm tired. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Anyways, heading 270, and we'll keep on going until probably a base leg right around in line with Subo. Or Suboff, rather. the dash lined up right below that F there. I thought that was an E. Anyways, the VNav is now going to be throwing a fit because we're dropping below the 8,000 foot restrictions. But that 4,000 foot there is right around in line with Suboff, so that'll be good. I'll zoom into about 10 miles out there. I'll probably hold it at 220 knots until the base leg. I usually kind of do a pattern of, since I don't really fly with air traffic control that much, I usually do 210 knots in the downwind, then down to 180 in the base leg to intercept the ILS, unless it's a continuous RNAV approach with more strenuous speed limits than that, but I don't really need to take it down to 210, I can just hold it there. What else do I have to set up? I don't really think I have anything more than that. What I can do is go into manual speed 220 there, and then activate the approach phase to prepare for the ILS. I have my minimum set. Everything else is good to go. I have the missed approach altitude figured out. There's a powerful glare on the horizon there. Can't even see the airfield. Is that it? Off? That way? I don't know. We'll get there when we get there. Alright, I'll pull up the landing scales now. We're at, oh yeah, 15 miles out. Let's swing a left turn, 180. Go down to 600 feet per minute to even it out at 180 knots. There's right in line with the glide slope. We are good. Oh yes, and below the 5,000 foot transition altitude there. Whoa! Panning with this low frame rate is really jittery. Very unfortunate. Whoa! As I say again, well that one was trying to be because I accidentally right-clicked, but still, it was high speed move for that. Altimeter was 1037. There we go. Oh, I'll set the others after I dropped the flaps out. Again, from the extremely broken wing view, as I say every time. Really hope that gets fixed soon. Although, I should actually not be here, because I'm going to be coming up on the intercept here real quick. Let's bring it down to 3,000 feet, and a 150 intercept there. Alright, Alright, I missed the extension, but there's flaps 2 out now. The texturing on those double slotted flaps is really nice. Oh yeah. Alright, I will engage approach mode, or arm approach mode rather. That was actually not as steep of an intercept as I meant it to be. Let's go left 130. Yeah, that should be good from there. That'll be a nice 30-degree intercept. We can bring it down to... well, no, I'll keep it at 600 feet per minute down, just since we're still below the glide slope there. Just to keep from leveling off. There's Lodestar. And there's the runway in sight. This is a locally installed airport that I have from Contrail, so hopefully it won't have any issues with streaming. Well, I mean, the marketplace airports are all disabled for streaming now anyways because of the lovely bugs with that. So I'm stuck with only locally installed airports. But yeah, I flew last night, when I was talking earlier about that Air France A330 flight that I just did yesterday. It was a gorgeous and awesome flight all the way through, but landing in the default Princess Juliana airport from like Sin Update 10 or whenever that was, there was just nothing there because it just couldn't stream fast enough, which was my greatest fear with the whole moving to streaming thing. So since we're stuck without local installs of all those airports now, we're just kind of hosed out of luck. That was not quite so awesome. But hopefully this one will go better. Whoa! My sincere apologies, I did not mean to hit the right mouse button as I was moving my mouse over to the right monitor to fiddle with my charts a bit more there, and panned the view all over the place. Alright, there we go. Here comes the glide slope. There's glide slope star. And very good. I'll leave that at 3,000 feet there for the initial 3,000 foot missed approach altitude. Some very jaggedy photogrammetry down there again with my low terrain level of detail, but it is pretty. I will give it that. Alright, before I get myself too distracted with that, let's roll it down to 160 knots, especially since we're only 8 miles out now. Let's drop the gear down. Flaps 3. Oh, here comes some turbulence. This might be an interesting landing, especially if I'm still running below 20 frames per second. Let's get the nose lights on. Arm the speed brakes. Auto brakes set low. Dig the cabin. And let's go to approach speed and watch flaps 4. That's a pretty view right there. Alright, that should be set here. It's settling down to... We're still at 139 for the approach speed. We are indeed. Still wants cabin checked on the ECAM. I've already pressed that. I don't know what kind of logic it follows for this end. That's what I had to do for the Toulouse and Phoenix at least, but anyways. Landing checklist. Gear down 3 green, flap set for landing full, speed brakes armed, auto brakes set low, missed approach altitude 3000 set, altimeters not set. I did meant to do that earlier and then distracted myself. Now it's complaining about me right in time. There we go, 1037. Whoa, tiny scroll spot on that one down there. Oh, goodness.
1,000.
Especially with this turbulence, it's hard to keep it on track without zooming instead. And of course, it's scrolling in inches too, so that's a huge range. You know what? Screw it. I'm not going to care about that. Altimeter set, light set, clear to land. That's the rest of the landing checklist. We're at 800 feet. I need to pop it out here. I'm just going to pretend that was set by my first officer or whatever. The flight director's off back into track mode, and let's see how much I can bodge this landing. About an 8 to 9 knot crosswind here, a little bit gusty, very, very bouncy in the turbulence here. Bring my view up a little bit more, that's a bit disconcerting. There we go. Whoa!
400.
Again, Pop-Tart landing. This will not be pretty, I will guarantee you that. What is pretty is those hay bales down there, my goodness.
Minimum.
Alright, 3 reds, gotta even out a bit more. Most of this is not me, surprisingly enough. It is just very bumpy up here. Wow. Turbulence is rough, but it's fun, I'm not gonna lie. Let's keep it right on the aiming point there. Oh yeah.
100.
Alright, even it out.
50. 40. 30.
Flare.
20.
Idle. That was way too much of a flare, oh my goodness.
Retard. 10. Retard.
Not used to this flight model. Alright, reverses out. Reverse green decel. That was a nasty flare. I gave way too much stick input for that one. That's on me. 80 knots, reverse is stowed. Oh yeah, we're good with this auto brake here. We can definitely make that, Actually, no, this is November 3. Never mind, I missed November 4. I forgot to check as well which one they, or which exit they took in real life. Yep, there's November 3. Step on those brakes a little bit here so we can make that tight turnaround to November. And there we go. That should be it. I love the new sun glare. Alright, there's us, safely on November. That was not my prettiest work on the landing, but I found it fun at least. Except I like my switch sounds back, that would be nice, but oh well. Alright, we got the landing lights off, strobes off, wing light off, nose to taxi. Clean up the MCP here. And back to heading vert speed. Let's pull in the flaps and speed brakes. I have to go down to fix the wing view every single time. Oh, and now I'm in the exhaust stream. How odd. There we go. There's that left on Foxtrot, which we'll take here as soon as I can pull my head back into the flight deck. There we go. Oh, stop the clock as well. I forgot about that one. Alright, let's see if GSX wants to behave today. Let's find out. Oh, it does, maybe. Alright, where are we parking again? 403 or 404, right? Which is Pier 4. I don't know which one of these it would be under. Let's just try gate. Nope. Doesn't want that. Where even is 405? I don't know what's up here. Let's try Charlie. Okay, so it doesn't have a 404 left or right, but we'll just take Charlie 404 and see what happens. No, follow me. Aer Lingus, most definitely. Well, let's pop on the APU here. There's the, I believe, the Ryanair terminal on the north side. Ooh, there's a crane over there, it looks like. Maybe? Unless that's structural, I actually can't tell from this distance. Okay, yeah, that's probably structural. Oh yeah, probably for the bridges on the other side. Oops. But yeah. An Aer Lingus ATR over there on the, what is that, Pier 2 it looks like? We're on the inboard side of Pier 2 there. Am I still on the taxi line? Kind of. There we go. Then we'll take this little squiggle off to the left here for Foxtrot 3. Our Pier 4 down there is nice and shiny in that sunlight. There's the rounded Pier 3. Which side was the cloud artwork on again? Was that the... Oops! As I was saying, take that squiggle off Foxtrot 3 there. As I plow myself into the grass. Oh dear. I think that was past Pier 3 on the inside over there. It's been a while since I've been in Dublin. Looks like we got an Emirates. What is that? That's a 777. Over there on the international side. Alright, we should... Yeah, we've got flap open now. Let's give that APU a start there. Not much ground rattling happening at this kind of speed, which I'd expect more from an airliner like this. Again, though, I can't say if that's a fault with the INI here, or if it's just gotten its sound killed by Microsoft Flight Sim again, or by the 2024 bug. No, I don't know where that cloud artwork was. No. Anyways. And I'm into the grass again. That's why you don't stick your head out the window and drive. I'll take a left on link 3 right here. Or actually, is this link 2? Oh, it is link 2. I messed up. I missed my turn. I was too distracted looking at the airport. Well, here comes 404. Let's pop the taxi light off. So, I'd think that if it's just 404 they're giving us, the GSX is going to want us at 404 center. So, we'll see what happens here. I stepped on the brakes a little bit too much and slammed myself to a stop right there. Yeah, the engines are sounding really tinny, so... Or not tinny, but just muddy and empty, so I'm thinking that I might have lost about half my sounds again. Oh, wait. There's Marshall over there. I'm gonna take this one. Yeah, okay, so this Marshall is working, even though it should be the safe dock up there and not a Marshaller. Maybe I don't have a GSX profile for this airport installed, I don't know. Not like I'd be able to see the safe dock anyways with that glare behind it, my goodness. Alright, let's pull it back to 2 or 3 knots. Wait, you want me to stop there? Oh dear. This is the other thing I still have to figure out with GSX. This, okay, yeah, so that's engine out there. For a while, I used to think that arm waving like that with both was to come out of parking and pull forwards more, but I think well, I'm most definitely not pulled forward enough, never mind. You know what, even if the Marshaller doesn't want me to, I'm going to pull forward some more there until we're on the stop bar. Yeah, still nothing on the safe dock. Alright, I'll just stop it right there, and... oh dear. Anyways, parking brake set. Bit of a dodgy parking job, but doing my best with what I got. And... APU's available. Let's get that the engines shut off. There we go. Get the... Oh, I should have turned off predictive wind shear as well. And we'll drop the transponder off. Seatbelt signs off. IRS off, and the fuel pumps out as well. Have a look at that shutdown. We're below 15% N2. I'll get the beacon lights off and APU bleed on. And that is all there is to it for this flight. Well, if you've made it all the way to the end, thank you very much for following along. Please do let me know as well what other kinds of things you'd like to see me fly. Again, I've been having a blast in 2024 so far, despite all the little bugs I've been encountering along the way. So I'd love to do some other videos in 2024, perhaps in the A330 if that's something you'd be interested in. And if you did enjoy, please do consider subscribing to the Aeroteam channel. We have a lot of other fun content from the team here, from more flight simulation to stuff such as Train Simulator, so do check that out as well if you'd like. Anyways, that is just about it. So, thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.